Welcome to the show, everyone. My name is Ben Irwin, and this week we saw the release of the International Humanist and Ethical Union's Freedom of Thought Report for 2012, detailing the discrimination of the non-religious around the world. I, like most people, said, wait, the IHAU's a thing? Well, it is a thing, and this is my Winter Solstice Wish. Oh yeah, it's looking mighty seasonal around here. But before we get to the Freedom of Thought report, in this seasonal time of the year, the Christians celebrate Christmas, Jews do their Hanukkah thing, and if you're black, you might celebrate Kwanzaa, a secular celebration of African and African American culture. Some countries like the UK and Canada celebrate Boxing Day. That's the day after Christmas where slaves get presents from their masters. But wait, before you get all up in arms over Boxing Day, it's evolved since the Bronze Age to become a day of giving to those in need, or to those, quote, in service positions. Anyway, so what do atheists do to celebrate the season? Well, it varies. A lot of us just go along with the Christmas festivities because we ain't got nothing better to do. But other non-believers, in keeping with pagan traditions, celebrate Winter Solstice. This year it falls on December 21st. Great. The day the world ends. Now, Winter Solstice, or the Southern Solstice, is an astronomical event that marks the time at which the sun is at its southernmost point in the sky due to the gyroscopic rotation of the Earth. The Winter Solstice is significant because, historically, those residing in harsh winter climates weren't sure whether or not they would make it January through April, the famine months. So Winter Solstice was the final hurrah, after the past 9 months of preparations for the harsh winter ahead. Now, there are many cultures and religions that celebrate Winter Solstice, but it dates back to pagan times, and many of its traditions are still alive and well, despite the agricultural advances we've seen. Which brings me to the Freedom of Thought 2012 report. This 69-page document is a study of all the ways atheists and non-believers are discriminated against around the world, or the ways we still haven't advanced. But here's a few bullet points. The report starts out by saying, quote, only human beings have human rights, not religions or belief systems. The quote in its entirety is pretty cool. The report is a summation of all the ways in which non-believers across the world are discriminated against by their respective governments. Atheists and humanists are focused on, since the report lists the number of countries which ban non-religious thoughts. Yeah, free pussy riot, yeah! And the report makes the distinction between countries with laws on the books against the non-religious, but agrees that there are many more cases of discrimination in workplaces and in societies. The report also does a good job of defining social media's role in the non-religious movement. It talks about how people on Facebook and Twitter, not to mention people like little old me, are playing a role in making blasphemous statements and distributing our thoughts to a much larger audience via web. The report offers case studies on only some of the countries in the report, but for the most part it does a very thorough job. For example, in Italy, all state school classrooms must have a crucifix displayed. Obviously, us atheists and humanists are a hated group in the Muslim countries. In Afghanistan, Iran, Maldives, Mauritania, I think I'm pronouncing those right, never heard of them, who cares, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Sudan, it's punishable by death if you choose not to believe in God. It's worth noting, though, that the report doesn't cite any real cases of the death penalty being used in these countries. In Egypt, Bangladesh, and Kuwait, it is illegal to publish atheistic materials. Here in America, there's the obvious preferential treatment to Christian religions over everything else. But in North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Maryland, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Texas, atheists cannot hold public office. And in Arkansas, atheists cannot be a witness at a trial. And that honestly doesn't sound too bad. That's kind of a perk in my eyes. I mean, who wants to spend a day on a bench testifying? Blech. But all kidding aside, I kind of feel like there's a violation of something in there somewhere. What's it called? Oh yeah, the Bill of Rights. It's in the Constitution, and number 1 on the list, I might add. Come on! So as we head into 2013, my Winter Solstice wish is to shave even a page or two off of this report. It'll take time. It should come as no surprise to anyone that this report is so lengthy, But as the human race moves forward and as we become a more global society, I am convinced that eliminating religious doctrine is the way to peace on Earth. But we have to convince people to do this willingly, to come to the dark side on their own terms. That's why I made cookies. I made winter solstice cookies. And shut up, I know what you're thinking. There's no rape van over here that I'm going to try to lure you into. There's nothing but love and light here on the dark side. And cookies. Now, this is not a call to New World Order either. That is not an accurate term to use. This is the collective evolution of human thought. Cheesy as it sounds, that is all I want for winter solstice, is for us to get along. And I'm absolutely convinced that secularism, humanism, atheism, and agnosticism is the way to keep us from blowing ourselves up as we, like I said, become a more global society. So until then, people like me and countless others will be here on the internet, chipping away at the religious mindset. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching, and a happy winter solstice to you and your family. See you next time. Bye-bye.